Hey man,
Recording in
okay.
progress.
Do we need to start over? Because it's like recording, and we were just like, did he say nothing?
We're leaving it. We're doing it raw. We're doing it live. Um, and if that's not what you like, guys, you can go the hell
We'll
somewhere
do it live.
else.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Landon, good morning.
Good
Uh,
morning.
episode 6 or I don't know 50 of Gritty Guys Pod. Welcome back. I'm Jaden Fine. That's Landon Dietrich, Coach Landon Dietrich. He likes to be called.
I hate that you do that to me.
Man, every time you get on here, you have a cool new hat. I like that white one with the boat string. I don't know what that. You know what that's called?
Rope hat.
The rope. I called it a boat hat. It looks like a boat. You know, guys on boats. No, I'll shut up. Anyways, how was your weekend, man?
Man, it was good. No championships for the BF boys this weekend. Um, Everybody played up. So, except 7-year-olds. The 7-year-olds played regular 7-year-old baseball. The 8U had their first kid pitch stuff. Played up in 9U. That was cool. They got to do kid pitch. 9U played up in 10U, which was cool. They got second. 10U played up in 11U. They did well. And the 11U majors team played up in 12U and got second. It was good. Everybody's playing up. Everybody's trying to get a little razzle dazzle in there. I loved it for one. No more undefeated teams for the BF boys. I love it.
Everybody who lost in Barrel Factory, you're fired.
Fire.
You're all getting
Hey, you,
released.
you want to know what something hilarious is?
What's that?
Um, Chris Dowdy was like the coach of the week, like week 3 or something. Well, he had the 10-year-old team. We coached together, but like, it's his and mine. But he runs the show a little bit,
Right.
and so they're undefeated, 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 and then like so they lost to the 11-year-old team, and it was like 4-7. We played a pretty legit 11-year-old team, and I walked up to him and I was like, "Man, by the way, like, I appreciate all you've done, but this is it. All right, 4-7 loss, like you're done. You are done. You blow the shutout, and you're not going to be on the team next year, buddy." And he laughed, and and then they played the same team again in the bracket, and it wasn't the championship game, but like might as well have been. And they got walked off on in the last inning, which is it happens.
It happens. Hey, what can you do?
But
Good though.
sorry, real quick. The thing I wanted to explain to all the kids, and I had to give this talk a couple times, is like that's how you grow. It's just like in the cage. Like we can say, like you don't get better just hitting off the tee and feeling good about yourself. It's the same with playing. Like you don't get better beating somebody 20-0. It just doesn't. It's not what makes you better. You got to struggle. You got to feel like poo poo sometimes, and like these kids are just better than me, and that makes you better. Feel it, you know?
Feel it. Yeah, I talk about it with my kiddos. I use the analogy of getting in the weight room, right? So, like, if you're in the weight room and you're just throwing around two and a halves, you're not really getting much done from a muscle growth standpoint. Where you got to put some pressure on the you got to tear down the fibers a little bit. You know,
Yeah, dude.
this weekend, you guys, the BF boys, were just tearing down fibers. We're
Yeah.
growing. Um,
Great growth from the BF boys.
Great growth made gains wise from the BF boys. Uh, that's awesome. I love that. I can talk about my teams if you want.
Yes, please.
There are none.
I got that, dude. I almost panicked. That was a panic moment for me because I was like, I've been talking about my teams on here for 10 weeks, and I was like, wait, what? You got teams,
I
man?
was just chill. Yeah, I was keeping it under the radar, low key. No, and I have organization of 15 teams. No, there are no big time baseball teams. Yet,
Yeah, yeah, please, dude. Come
and
on.
that's
I mean,
not that's not
glorious.
what were you saying?
It's glorious, man. It's so fun.
It looks fun. I'll be honest with you. It's a lot, but it looks fun.
It is a lot.
Yeah, I didn't do much this weekend. I usually have nothing to talk about. I play guitar, I hang out. The Dodgers won yesterday. Do you see my Instagram stories, Landon, about me just absolutely destroying the Dodgers or saying
Man,
watch them
I
lose?
watch them, but I normally watch them late.
Yeah,
So I'll probably watch.
the last couple, and because I'm from Southern California. All my buddies are Los Angeles Dodgers people, and I hate So I hate the Dodgers organization, but I love all their players. Mookie, Freeman, Otani's great. They're all awesome.
Right.
Max Muncy's great. Will Smith is the greatest catcher alive. So, but I've talked so much shit on my story about how I want them to lose by 50. And of course, they took the championship series, but now we get an Otani Judge World Series. Did you see? Oh wait, hold on. I'll talk about this. Hold on, let me write this down. We got to talk about this. Okay, we got to keep pushing this segment forward. What are you talking about for Mindset Monday?
Mechanics
Monday. Excuse me, shameless plug. Sorry.
Yeah, golly, shameless plug. Hey, if you guys want to see Mindset Monday, go to Jaden's Instagram.
Sorry, I haven't had my Celsius yet.
Okay, man, for mechanics, I was thinking on the same plane of like we talked about, just step close, step open, step level, even, whatever you want to call it. Now I want to ask, with the step. Okay, let me rephrase it. Actually,
let's write that back.
When you hit, do you want to be taller in your legs, lower in your legs, more of a squatted position, more of a standing straight up position? Do you change it when you turn? Talk to us, Jaden.
To clarify, in the whole swing or in the stance or what, or just go?
All of it.
All of it. All of it. All of it. Stance, I don't give a damn. You can relatively, you could go on your hand. Oh, excuse me. You can go on your hands. Damn it.
Hold on. Stop. Let me talk. Because the other day you said on the cast, and then you go, "Oh, I'm gonna bleep that." Did not get bleeped out. Did not. And I didn't say nothing.
That's so wow.
My 7-year-olds watch this thing. You better have that bleeped out. Holy smokes. This guy, have some feel, bro.
Let me write that down. Yeah, we'll timestamp it. Totally forgot to do that. Sorry, guys.
You want to let them out now? Do you want to let them out now?
Huh?
If you need to let some out, let them out where you remember where to bleep them. Damn it!
Okay. Dude, these guys, we pushed it up 30 minutes from 10 to 9:30 filming taping time. I'm a mess. I usually need those 30 minutes to get locked in. Some intense meditation, maybe some yoga. So I don't have that. So I'm all over the place this morning. Damn it. Okay. Standing upright. Go on your hands. I don't care. Do a handstand, do a backflip in your stance. Doesn't really matter. That's your personal style. Now, as you come out of your stance and your load and getting into the ground, preferably, I like a nice posture position, hips back, chest forward. And for me, I'm trying to maintain that position as best as you can through the swing, into contact, and into your finish. I think that you should not leave that posture, especially as you're making contact with the baseball. Excuse me, because then you're going to get weird path issues. You're going to come off the ball. You're going to miss under. So I'm a huge proponent of do whatever the hell you want in your stance. And then as you make your move, when you're getting into the ground, you got to be in a good posture position, butt back, chest forward, more of a hip hinge. And I think we may have similar thoughts on that. Hopefully it's some different thoughts. I'd like to hear your opinion on that. Please go.
Yeah. Well, with that, what do you think about legs though? Like,
legs?
Yeah. So I'm in it with the posture, but like, man, I'm all about that. And I'm tall, so I have to be, but like,
right.
Boom, and keep it. Just turn. Oh, I don't know how to do it with the pin, but that's fine. But legs though, too.
I'm sorry. I totally didn't answer your question. Legs. I say because I have guys that will come in and I call them the gingerbread man legs, where they're like no bend at all. I like a nice athletic. It should look like you're guarding somebody in basketball or stealing a base.
Yeah.
Because I think when those legs get locked and they're really straight, because there's guys that do it, but especially for a young kid, if those legs are blocked out, I think you lose your athleticism. Especially balls down. Like I tell some of my kids, the ball down, try to hit the baseball, try to get below the ball with your legs. Using those to get into the ground and use the ground for power. But I think it's more of a case by case basis. But I'm definitely on the get into them legs category.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. And so I think being a tall hitter as well, like I still am tall. So like I had to get down a little bit, right? You don't want to lose your leverage. Don't get me wrong. But like you got to be athletic.
Yeah.
Okay. So of course, waist up, I'm thinking angle, my butt's back, but I'm it's like I'm guarding you in basketball or playing linebacker, like I'm down, right? And but where you start is irrelevant. You can start like like Mike Trout. It's like it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter where you load stride to and get in your launch position. Like that's what matters, right? So, I think that's super important. I also have some weird thoughts on it that I don't know if you've thought about before, but like guys who are more. This is like kind of like cheat codes I've found where it's fixing the problem, but a little bit easier way to fix it. And when I hit, I never want to mess with anybody's style, right? Because there's people who leg kick, there's people who no stride, there's people who toe tap. I hate messing with the style because that could be what makes that kid great, and you never know. And people's styles are different. There's no correct way to have a style. It's all comfort until you get to your launch position. As long as you're on time, and as long as you aren't doing something absolutely crazy to move your eyes around. So, the only times I'll ever switch it is if it's like, all right, here's my load. And I'm like, oh, buddy, doing too much. Hey, doing too much. So think about this, because I like a far step, not crazy, but like I like to get stretched out there a little bit.
Yeah.
And this is why people who step shorter, they tend to be more spinny, and people who step further tend to be more on their direction is better. 100%. Because if you think of like a ballerina, right? Like their feet are going to be together. They're going to be standing up tall. And when they get lower and stretch that leg out like they do, their spin gets slower. And as they get taller, their spin gets faster, because the taller and more, closer your legs are, the more you spin. But it's harder to spin and lose direction if you got a good stride and step. So, I'm all for getting out there, getting far out there, getting stepped out there. It's going to help your direction. And also, the lower you are, the stronger you are. Like, nobody is deadlifting with their feet, together. Well, I guess there are, but my point is, if you're down in the stance, like I'll make a kid stand together, put his feet together, tippy toes, and I'll push him, and he'll just be like, oh, and then, all right, now spread them out, get low, push them, nothing happens, because lower is stronger. But the problem is there's a point to that where it's like, okay, now you're just ridiculously low, So that's kind of what I think. I just think it helps your direction. I think it helps you be strong as long as you're not overdoing it.
Yeah. And personally for me, like there's some cases where, I'll tell a kid to get literally like, hey, go lower, but here, take this. Hold on. Oh, let me move this chair. Pencil bat. Everybody get your pencil bats out. It's a learning segment.
Hold on. I got it. That's great.
Pencil bat segment. So usually when I tell kids, hey, get lower, what I mean in my head is push your butt back and get your chest forward because your head drops. 95% of the time when you tell a 7-year-old to get lower, they'll go that way versus a proper hip hinge. So there's a couple times where I'll say, hey, physically get lower, but most of the time I think, hey, use the hip hinge to get into a better position. Because like you said, there's a line between super low and like squatting low and athletic. But there's guys, and that's what I wrote down earlier, like Soto, who are super low, but wide. He's really stable. And that's why, he's really good. Did you see his homer the other day on Instagram?
I did not. I did not.
Why you're so busy all the time, man?
Well, no, man. I'm the worst.
It's okay. It's not important. He we'll talk about it. I'll explain it. It was the most ridiculous debate I've ever seen. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, man. The game he was hitting right behind me when I was in the 3 hole and he was in the 4 hole. He did pretty good.
He was all right.
Hey,
You seen that guy?
hey, I hit one. I hit one off the wall and then he came up.
Hey, you know what? Can we talk about that? Kind of because I was thinking about that because literally like he hit the homer on Friday night or Saturday. I can't remember. I think it was Saturday. Had the greatest at bat ever. 3-run homer against Cleveland. It was like a 10 pitch at bat. He hit a fastball. I'll send you the clip. He hit a cutter at the top of the zone, like up, and he hit it in the air. It took like 10 seconds to get down, and he snuck it out. 3-run homer, won the game. And immediately I thought, oh my God, we played with him.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, we have to talk about this on Gritty Guys because it's like the coolest thing ever. Like, can you explain that story? Like you explained that day. I don't know how many times you played in the big league games twice, right? Once or twice.
Two games.
Two
Two
games.
games. Yeah.
Did you play in both or just the second one with me?
I played a half inning of defense in the first one I played in against the Cards, and then I played like 7 innings versus the Mets. Yeah, it was good. Every time I think about that, I think of the clip from Thor Ragnarok where he's like, he's a friend from work. It's like
Yeah.
out. But no, I mean, it was cool, man. We were gonna get sentenced to the extendo clip, extended spring training. So everybody left, and they were like, "Hey, we need some guys to play in the big league game." And I would love to say it helped that we were having a good spring. Like, dude, that was my best spring. That was my best baseball I've ever played in my whole life was that spring, and it was capped off by playing in 2 big league games. The first game we went out, we were playing the Cardinals, and they had Albert Pujols was on first, Yadier Molina was behind the plate, Paul Goldschmidt was at first, Nolan Arenado was at third, Aaron Hicks was pitching. It was crazy. The lineup was absurdity, and we had Josh Bell, Soto, D Gordon. We had the guys, dude. So I get over there on first, and there's a slow roller. This is in the 9th inning. That really doesn't matter. This one wasn't televised, but there's like a slow roller to Lucius Fox at short, and he runs through it, and he ends up like 20 feet away from me when he runs through it, and the guy's almost to first, and he throws me a rocket, and it was like 100 miles an hour, and so I like try to pick it a little bit, and I like end up blocking it up, and everybody's like, "Could you have caught that? Like, what happened?" And I was like, "Bro, I'm so serious. Like, that was so tough." Anyway, the next day we go out. Josh Bell, Juan Soto, they're getting on a plane to go to Washington, and they're like, "You guys are up. Good luck." It's already like 10-0. I think I started us off with the double, and then you got a hit, right?
Yep.
Paul got a hit.
Middle Paul. I think Booney had 2 knocks that day.
Booney had 2 knocks. Yeah, no, and we in the rookie ball boys like carried us to an 18-1 victory. It was absurd.
Crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. Again, for those of you who don't understand how the levels work of baseball or what happens after spring training. So during spring training, there's big league camp and there's minor league camp. The guys who get invited to big league camp are trying to make the team for the major league team, and everybody else is trying to make an affiliate minor league team. So there's 4 levels of affiliates, like affiliated minor league baseball, triple A, double A, high A, low A. And then below low A is rookie ball.
Yeah.
And you do not want to end up in rookie ball. It's basically purgatory. It's prison. It's a lot. It's fine. It's just a lot. It's a lot. And extended spring training is exactly what it sounds like. It is just more spring training after the spring season ends when the guys don't make a club out of spring training. And that day stands out to me, the last day when everybody left for their affiliate team. That stands out to me the most because like we were so fucking excuse me. Damn
Oh
it.
my gosh, 2 in a row, bro.
I am a
Good.
pirate.
Passionate. Start talking about extendo clip and Jaden's dropping F-bombs.
Extendo clip, shout out. Extendo clip. And I lost my train of thought again. Damn it. I'm such a sailor. Oh, that day stands out to me the most because we were so angry and disappointed that we didn't make an affiliate team. And the guys in extended who didn't make the affiliate team were the best performing players in that big league game. And
Oh yeah.
do you remember there were big leaguers that were like, who the hell are you? Like, why are you guys here? I can't remember the guy's name. A couple of the pitchers were like, damn, like you guys are gonna be really good in rookie ball. And we're like, yeah.
Well, and so we can talk about, like, I never tell the kids this, and I know some kids are going to be watching, but it might be good for them just to know. But like, life is so in baseball, they're like, people in Little League just call it like daddy ball or whatever. It's fine. That term gets thrown around, and I get it. But like when you get to the big leagues, or when you get to pro ball, they pay you a signing bonus, and however much money that signing bonus is determines the level of opportunities you get. So it's like some people like think it's like, oh, you only need a chance, and it's like that. Well, um, yeah, that's right. But if you slip in the back door to pro ball and you get your chance, which I'm not complaining here because I could have made it right if I was a little bit better, I'm sure. But when you get your chance is one game out of every 8, and the guy who got paid millions of dollars chances is one game every, or 7 games every 8. And so like you play the 8th day, and then he plays the other 7, and we're wondering like why he's doing well. So we get in there and we're pissed because I had a great spring. You had a great spring. Quaid had an incredible spring. And so these guys are like, where are you guys headed? Like, where are you like, are you going to AAA? Like, are you going to take my job?
Are you hurt? What's happening?
Right. And they were like, you guys are incredible. And like, you down to earth, and you're not like a crazy, cocky 19-year-old kid. Like, you guys got to be going somewhere. We're like, man, we're staying here. We're actually in rookie ball. Like, we're in extended spring training. And they were like, you guys are going to win so many games that like they were like, this is going to be the greatest rookie ball. We're going to hear stories about this rookie ball team. Anyway, and then we do it. We stayed down, and then we went on like how much was our win streak at one point when like
Dude,
it brought it all together?
It was like 19 games, something crazy. Like
19 games in a row we won. And when we were like at 11, we got to like 11 win streak, and we were like, dude, the vibes were immaculate. Like I remember that was so fun, and we were like, we can't lose because we also had Will Frizzle. And he was just
Jesus. Oh man, he was good.
The goat. And so like he would DH, and like he would literally just slap a double the first at bat and then run the second. And then the next at bat, he would slap another double, and they would put somebody on the run for him. And then he'd be out of the game.
He
would just sit back and chill.
Sorry, I'm trying to find what season would we play there? 22?
Man, I don't know. 21 or 22.
I guess it doesn't really matter. 22. We were so good. Oh man. Looking back on it, it was kind of fun. Because like we had a lot of fun guys come down and rehab with us, and like we played with some cool cats. Like D Gordon
is one of the greatest. Let me tell you, D Gordon is an incredible human being.
He really is.
He is funny. He's so funny. Like, oh gosh, he's funny.
Let's see. What does his record say?
I was going to go play basketball with D Gordon at his mansion in Miami, actually, for the longest. He was like, dude, come down on, May or like September. I don't remember what he said. And I was like, dude, D Gordon, legend. I would absolutely ball up on you. And he's like, how he talks is he's like, play it. I appreciate you, but you ain't about to ball up on me, son. And I was like, D, I'm a little country boy from Reese, Texas. I'm about to ball on you, boy. And so, like, he didn't know I could, like, low-key hoop, though. And so I was going to go out there, and, man, I got released in April. It was like a month till, and I just, I was like, D, I ain't gonna make it. He's like, all good, player. All love. I was like, sweet, man. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, he's like 5'9". Like he's a tiny human being. Um, he's so funny, man. I remember the one that stands out to me was we were playing on the backfield, and he's a big leaguer, and he was just like rehabbing or whatever. And one of our player development coordinators was down there, and he was hitting, and he like didn't run out a ball or something. Do you remember this?
Yeah, no, he just jogged it out.
Yeah. And the player coordinator came over and got on the fence and was like getting on D's ass. And D turned and was like, hey man, I'm D Gordon. What are you doing?
Yeah, D was literally like, I think his exact words were, I ain't about to listen to that shit. You know? He's like, hey, player, I ain't about to listen to that shit.
I ain't about to listen to that. Kids run out balls, but when you make it to the big leagues and you're rehabbing and rookie ball, you can walk. You can walk. They don't care.
Yep.
And it sucks for D, man, because I don't think he ever got to 10 years of service time. I don't think he's getting a pension, which sucks.
Oh,
Doesn't that suck?
I mean, he'll be all right, but like,
I mean,
he made
you be living in Miami though, on the beach and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, man. What were we talking about? Big league game. Perfect. We're running out of time. You have any closing thoughts on that?
On the big league game?
On anything we just talked about?
Yeah, man, I just think the big league game was one of the biggest blessings of my life because I'll remember that forever. And it was so much fun. I just remember in the minor leagues, we were eating chicken and rice every other day at least. And sometimes we'd get on the bus and get lunch in like one of those cereal bowl containers that's like pre-packed. They'd be like, here's lunch. You're going to Port St. Lucie. We'd be like, oh my gosh, maybe an apple if we're lucky. And then we make it to a big league game and we go to the cafeteria across the way and they have like lobster tail.
Yeah.
And like kale and steak. And it was like pretty much whatever you want. And I get up to the thing and he's like, what do you want? And I'm like, what are we having today? He was like, whatever you want. And I was like, whatever I want. And he was like, you should try the lamb chop. It's great. I'm like, what is going on? I was too nervous to eat anyway. So I was like, I don't want anything. I just looked at my lamb chop.
Yeah.
Because I was so nervous.
Guys, if you can, players who are young, who are thinking like, oh, is the major leagues really like that cool? Hey, yeah, it's really that awesome. Everything's better in the big leagues. Like everything. Like we have this is kind of a random tangent, but like minor leaguers, we had a dress code and we had to do stuff a certain way. Big leaguers, no dress code. You can roll up whenever you like. You can wear whatever. I remember Steven Strasburg, shout out San Diego State, go Aztecs. He used to roll up in flip-flops.
Flip-flops, yeah.
Yeah, and we had to shave. My first year we had to shave. Strauss had a giant beard. Kind of a random story too. I remember when I was rehabbing, I hurt my hamstring early in the extended season. I remember you guys were on the field stretching, and I was in the cold tub. And I was chilling by myself, just like sitting in the tub, and there was nobody else in there. And for some reason, everybody in the minor league, in the training area, big leaguers shared the tubs with the minor leaguers. And I was sitting in the minor league tub on the minor league side, just hanging out. And in comes Steven Strasburg on the other side. Doesn't say, no earphones, nothing. Doesn't say a word. Gets into the tub across from me. And we're just like staring at each other, just like this. And I'm like, and he's frightening. About 6'6", like 290 pounds, just lumberjack. And we're just staring at each other, just chilling. And he got up and left. And I was like, oh my God, Steven Strasburg. That guy's got so much money.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah. No, we were wearing collared shirts, clean shaven, and pants and closed-toed shoes. And those guys were walking up in flip-flops, short shorts, cutoffs, big beards, burly. And they were showing up at like 11:30. And we'd been there since 6 a.m.
Yeah. It's man. Guys, I guess the moral of the story there is play good. Play good for as long as you can, and then you'll be rewarded.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was a blessing. All that stuff. It's pretty cool. the ups and the downs. It was we complained about it a lot, but it was cool, man. Hey, and I got to meet you.
Yeah, here we are, and it's set us up for what we're doing now. And
Right.
the only way to build character is to struggle a little bit. That's how it goes.
Damn right. And that's how we acquire the knowledge and the skills to start the Gritty Guys pod, one of the greatest podcasts of all time ever. So
Yeah, rivals Joe Rogan for sure.
damn right. Can we take a little break? Because we got
Yep.
a couple more minutes left, so we got to restart.
Yeah, let's restart and then let's get back on like good Gritty Guys topics we got.
Let's do it. Momentum.
We're back.
We are back, guys. That break was brought to you by Whataburger. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, Whataburger or In-N-Out? I already know your answer though.
Whataburger, yeah.
Darn it.
I don't like In-N-Out fries, man.
In-N-Out is better, but you're talking to a Cali kid. That ad break was brought to you by Barrel Factory. If you want to get some swanging in, and you in the Waco area, Barrel Factory. Landon's handsome. He's got cages. He's got nets. He's got balls. The whole, all the cool stuff, dude. He's got a field. He's got a weight room. Landon's there. Cool hats and stuff. Good merch. Barrel Factory. So go there. I have an online program. If you like hitting, if you like not going to lessons in person, I think it's pretty cool. So check that out. Follow us on Instagram, Barrel Factory. Right? I'm saying this right?
Barrel_factory__.
Okay.
It was tough. There's a lot of barrel factories that actually produce like whiskey barrels. Remember?
Like actual barrels.
Barrels, yeah.
I'm Jaden Fine BTB. We appreciate you listening, guys. Landon has another topic for us because I'm basically completely useless here. So could you go?
So I watched the video of Soto just on the break. It's a great video. Brings me to a point that me and Cody Bradford talk about a lot. It's for hitters, it's for catchers, and it's for pitchers. Most of the time, people stand. This could be, if you're looking for an identity for your stance, you should be comfortable. Absolutely. People stand opposite of the balls they hit well. This is what I mean. Clip that because this is going to be huge. Okay. So I noticed the catcher was trying to get a ball up on Soto. He was like, up. Heater up. If the ball is above Soto's belt, he hits it out. It's who Soto is, right? And so if he hits the ball up well, opposite is up, is down. So this is how he stands, right? Let me get this out. Mm-hmm. So he is here, right? He's down. He's low because you hit the ball. He hits the high pitch better, so he stands lower. Trout, if it's below Trout's belt, he's hitting a homer. That's how good Trout is at the low pitch. So how does he stand? Way up here. He's tall. If you hit the low pitch good, most of the time you stand taller. If you hit the high pitch good, most of the time you stand lower. If you like the inside pitch, get up there. If you like the outside pitch, back off there. It's how you do it. And so pitchers, if you face a guy who's way down in his legs, he probably likes the ball up. That's why he's down there, because he likes it up. If you face a guy that's standing 9 feet tall, he probably likes the ball down. That's why he's up there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I feel like a terrible hitting coach because I've literally never thought of that or put two and two together. But that makes total sense. Guys like Cody Bellinger.
Yeah.
He gets dominated on balls up. Yeah. I think he does at least. He's much better down.
Yeah.
He's
down. And so he stands here, bat flat, straight up and down. Chris Bryant's the same way. He stands up and almost like leans back a little bit. He's the same way. But like not a lot of guys like the high pitch like Soto, but he is so down. He is down, right? And
here, can I take that theory one step further?
Yes.
May I? Actually, I may have just blown it up. I don't know. You tell me if this makes any sense. So guys like Soto, who are lower, who like the ball up, would you say he's more rotational or he's more linear?
No, that's tough because lower body, I think this also what makes him good. His lower body is very much direction is in line, but his shoulders are way more rotational, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. I think he's very rotational. There's not a lot of linear up going up top. That is, I'm just
Yeah.
speaking about like his turn.
Right.
Like the reason I think he hit that ball is because it was a ball. It might have been a ball up out of the zone, but
Right.
he kept these level and he just turned. It was like that way. I think guys that are taller are more linear versus guys that are lower in their setup are more rotational. So like a Chris Bryant, there's not a lot of spin there. Like he's pretty linear through the middle of the field. But I guess a guy like Bellinger, do you consider Bellinger linear or a rotational guy?
Then I think he would be more linear because he's like starts up and then he kind of gets down to that ball and gets a triangle out front, but then he just has a good turn. And I think what's confusing about it is you're cut in half, right? So your bottom half below your belt should be rotational and above should be linear. So like the guys that start lower tend to step further. And if you step further, like Soto, he's way spread out. And if you watch his like back knee, it's just it's quick, it's tight, it's right down, and it's there. And I'm saying like his lower body is almost linear, which is good for him. But then guys who stand closer, their lower bodies are more turn, but they tend to be taller, so they're more on a line with their upper body and their path, right? Because the path and the hips don't always mix, which is good. But I agree 100%. I think if you're gonna be lower, you have to hit the high pitch. And to hit the high pitch, your shoulders can't be this way. You got to level them out, and it's also the exact level of your barrel. So if I hit a low pitch, steeper shoulders, steeper barrel, and then it just comes up this way. The higher the pitches, the flatter the shoulders, the flatter the barrel, because it has to match your shoulders. The moment it's like this, then you're just rolling right over it. Or the moment it's flat shoulders and down barrel, you're just dumping your barrel. You're going to miss under it.
Yeah.
So just like I think that's why high pitch hitters have flat shoulders and a flat barrel, and low pitch hitters have steeper shoulders and a steeper barrel. And great hitters can sometimes do both, but not often.
No, not often. Even Trout, early in his career, he was like dominated balls down and balls up, he sucked.
Yeah.
Like he's just that good where he figured out how to hit the ball up too. He was at a point where he wasn't turning to the ball up. He was still working under and through to center, but the ball was up at the zone. Makes no sense. But he can figure that out. And guys, parents out there, if you're trying to coach your kid on your own, if a kid's missing under, check that position where his barrel is matching his shoulders. Because a lot of my kids, they stand straight up, and they don't stay in their posture as they rotate to like balls down. So that's why they miss balls down. So pay attention to that, everybody. That's very important.
Man, and if you can get good at it, if you can really get good at it, like you think about hitting a inside pitch and outside pitch, and you can ask any of my 8-year-olds, you're like, do we hit this outside pitch out front or deep? And they'll go deep. And I'll say, okay, now do we hit it to pull it or opposite field? And they're like, opposite field, no problem. Inside. And they tell me, and they're right. But on the high pitch, you can ask any normal 18-year-old, you're like, how do you hit the high pitch? And they're like, I don't know. And it's like, what do you do different? I don't know. And you're like, okay, well, it's the level of your shoulders. If you flatten them, you're going to hit the high pitch and it's going to be the same. Like, you don't want to manipulate how your arms are. You don't want to like flick to the high pitch and then stay through the low pitch. You just want to go or, and hit it. So take your back shoulder, kids, just take your back shoulder directly to that ball, and on a high pitch, if you watch video, it's never going to be like perfect triangle through it, finish high. It's going to be more this way. And that's just it's the worst part about hitting, but it is what it is. And, most of the most beautiful swings you ever see on Instagram Reels, check and see if they're a low pitch or a high pitch, because they're most likely low.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Higher the pitch, the flatter the barrel is going to be. That's cool, man. I like that. That was a good one. That was really, really good. You're smart.
I am smart. I'm very smart.
You're real damn smart. You know that?
I do.
Let's go into some questions. Let's go
Yeah.
into some questions. Fan questions. There are no spoiler. There's no fan questions, guys. If you have questions, comment below. Hit us up on Instagram, Jaden Fine BTB, Barrel Factory _barrel_factory, right?
Close enough.
Close enough. Look them up. I have a question for you, and I got this question a couple times last week. How do you know, and this will help some people out there, how do you know when it's time for a player to move up in bat size? Because I get this question quite often because we have children and children grow, what's your answer? Because I have my theory. It's kind of dumb, but you give me yours first and I'll explain mine.
Yeah, man, that's a tough one. The answer for most of the kids out there is probably not yet because it's I don't know who told everybody that Babe Ruth or somebody swung a 90 million ounce bat, but it ruined society because then it's like, well, Jimmy swings a 29 and I only swing a 27. And it's like, yeah, and Jimmy can't get the barrel around, bro. He's not in a good position or a good path. And so, but nevertheless, if you can swing it fast, you need to move up probably, right? So I'm a fan of the smaller bats. I think when is it time to move up?
Tough one.
I don't
Tough.
know. I mean, if you're for one, if you can't reach pitches, like yeah, but also there's a point where you can swing the bat so fast where you're like continuously having to wait on the ball. But it doesn't happen often. I think it's when you can do it with a good path, but I don't know when that point is. Maybe I should teach me something today.
You talking about me?
Yeah, teach me something.
So here's what I got. I'll ask kids, hey, they say, hey, should I move up or should little Tim move up? And I say, hey, does little Tim swing the bat good? Does it seem heavy? And they're like, oh, I'm like, well, then keep the bat. But to your point, good path or bad path, if you go up in a bat size, and I've seen this a couple times in my players' swings, if they go up, you're talking about if you go up, then they're not swinging it good. I
Right.
saw, and you only good coaches like you and I and good coaches out there will see it in the video. I noticed that a couple of my players were the bat was too light. So then they started yanking it across their face. So I think it went the other way where this bat's too light. He's starting to manhandle it. You see what I'm saying? He was getting real steep across his head. Then he got the little size up and then he started to turn a little bit more. But, anyways, aside from like physically can't turn it, can't swing the bat efficiently, like I think that there are landmarks in the progression of bats that need to be hit.
Right.
So like
Right.
if you're 14 and you're going to go be a freshman and you've never swung a drop 3 before,
Right.
that's an issue.
Big issue. Yeah.
Like that's a problem. Or if you're, in a drop 8 and you're moving to a drop 5 and the first tournament's tomorrow and you never swung a 5, like, hey, maybe start swinging 5 in training. For me, like I started swinging, I think a drop 3 because we were big children. So I think I started swinging a drop 3 at 13, 12 or 13 in training. And then every so often in a live context in a game. But yeah, I mean, if there's a milestone like landmark, hey, we need to move up, you should probably think about, doing that, if that makes sense.
No, I agree. I agree. I think every Barrel Factory kid's going to come with a new bat in the spring now
Right.
because of that. But that's fine. Can we also tell them what kind of bat they should get because they know there's 1 pieces, there's 2 pieces, there's hype fires, there's soldier tanks, there's
Oh
the new.
gosh.
What do you think?
Personally, whichever one has the most hits in it, you get that one.
Yeah.
On a more serious note, I was a big guy, probably 6'3" in college, 200 pounds, 205 pounds. I swung a balance bat. This BS of like, at least for me, this BS of like, if I'm a big guy and I want to hit home runs, get an end loaded bat, and if you don't swing an end loaded bat and you swing a balance bat, you're a wuss. Stupid. Like, get a bat that's comfortable, that you can swing well. For me, and I figured out in pro ball because there's different models and we have different bat weights and all that, different feels. I always swung the bat better with the 271, which is the more balanced one.
Yeah.
I hated the feel of it, but I always swung it better because guys throw 100. And my bats that I ordered were way too end loaded, and I couldn't get the girl around. So personally, dude, I like those. I like them one piece balance bats, but
Yeah, no, I was a Marucci guy in college. It's the most balanced. It's one piece. It also has the best grip. But also, if you are under 12 years old, just get the cheapest bat, man. They go through
yes,
tests to see what
golly.
bat is hot. Like they're not gonna drop a bat that's hotter than the rest because it just gets banned.
Yeah.
So like if you're like, oh, this bat's hot, no, it's not. It's the same. They're all the same. And if it sucks, you will know it and everybody will know it, and it'll be the talk of the town. And you will just get a
That's
bat that's the right size, and it feels good in your hand. I could hit a home run with the fishing pole. It doesn't matter. I'm confident up there, and so if you give me your bat, kid, I'm still gonna hit a bomb. So don't make your mom and dad buy you a Hype Fire and a Cat and a Cat X2 and a Soldier Tank and an Icon. Just get a freaking bat and learn how to hit with it.
And hey, to that point, I always thought, I don't know about you, I always thought the bats from 200 to 250 were my favorite. So I'm talking the Louisville Slugger Omahas.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking the Easton, God, what's that one piece bat? I can't remember. I'm old. The Velo. The Rawlings Velo we swung in college. That's the mid-grade one. Always the middle grade ones. Because if you're spending $500 on a bat and you're 10, right? Don't do that.
Yeah.
Like Landon said, hey, maybe, how about this, Landon? How about this? You know what? It's Monday. How about this stop for you? If you're thinking about, if you have 4 bats, right? And you have a bat bag, then you have an ice cream sliding mitt and a purple ice cream sliding mitt and an elbow guard with ice cream things on it, right? Maybe think about becoming a better player, right? Maybe ask your parents for a hitting membership at Barrel Factory. Shout out, do it, and learn how to hit the ball. Because I have kids who have literally $3,200 worth of gear in their bag, but their swing is terrible.
Preach.
You know what I'm saying, kids?
Yeah,
And that part of it's my fault because I'm their instructor. We're working on it. But like, sorry, my bad. I'll take some blame for that. But if you're a kid and you have bats, if you have 3, how many more do you need? You know?
Yeah.
Stop playing Fortnite. Stop buying gear. Like, learn how to hit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Be gritty.
Be gritty, man. Like Landon said, he could hit the ball with a fishing pole. And I think he could. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Because I had a couple kids come in last week that were like, and it bothers me because I'll get in a groove throwing BP and they'll freaking switch bats in the middle. And then I lose my groove. And I'm like, hey, what are you doing?
I hope Jasper Klanica is listening to this video. Guy switches bats on me. Richard Alvarez, Eli Alvarez, I'm talking to you.
Wait for the round to end.
I'm in a groove, man. I have to get in a groove too. Okay.
I'll be like, hey, coming out. I have a kid, I'll say coming out, one more ball. He'll grab a Gatorade drink. What are you doing? Ethan Bristol, I'm talking to you. You don't need it. You don't need it. We're not running sprints.
Hey, Richard Alvarez. His mom is one of my favorites.
Holy.
Miss Alvarez will be like, you switch bats, I'm going to beat your ass.
I mean, what are we doing? Dude, we could do a whole freaking episode on weird stuff that happens in a day of hitting lessons. Weird stuff going on. Yeah. Like, what in the world? You don't need 5 bats. That's funny. Do you have another question that you want to talk about, or what do you think? I have one more if you want to talk about it.
Yeah, let it rip.
What do you think about kids hitting with no shoes on?
Oh, dude. Hey, I hit with Josh Jung once, Rangers GOAT.
He's pretty good.
He was a no shoes guy.
Really?
Wanted to feel the earth. There's some guys that have done it. Ian Jenkins hits the ball miles, and he's a no shoes guy. Hey, but you look at me. I'm gonna put some shoes on these dogs. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have shoes on, man. I'll feel whatever earth you want me to feel with my shoes firmly placed.
Atlanta, I think you're not talking about like dogs out, like toes out. You're talking about in socks, right? Are you talking
Ian
feet?
Jenkins, I don't know him personally, but he hits with no shoes on or socks.
No.
I mean, Josh was in the cage and he was just like, "Yeah, I'm just trying to feel down." And I was like, "Okay." But then I mean, he's normal, right? Ian Jenkins
Ian
hits with
Jenkins,
no shoes or socks on.
Ian, if you ever see this clip, I'd love to have you on. That is honestly, that's filthy.
I
I'm a
have,
you
I
need
have
to keep your
shown it.
socks on, dude. Oh my goodness. Is the sock gonna add a little stability that you'd rather that you have when you don't have your sock? Like that's terrible. I don't know.
I
Do you
don't know him either. Like if he saw this, I'd
He
be.
seems like a great guy and he smashes that damn ball. But that's foul. I mean no socks, claws digging into the ground.
Go look it up on his Instagram, man. He's hitting with his dad, and he's just like wham, and I'm like, that guy has no shoes or socks on.
Um I don't and I can't talk too much shit because he'd probably come here and beat my ass.
Yeah, he would.
He
He's
could pick
pretty
me up and he could rip me in half. Ian, he big fan. Come on the show.
big man.
Please come on the show. I think it's cool. Like the guy that runs the prime teams, we have a bunch of prime kids that'll come in and take their shoes off and hit. And his name's Blaine, the
Yeah,
director.
yeah. Heard of
What
him.
the hell are these kids doing? No shoes? He's like, what kind? And he's old. That's why. Um, I like it. I like it because you got to be stable. You got to be stable. I don't know. And there's something. I think there's something to it because like there's cats that back squat with no shoes. Why are you making a face?
Man, I don't like feet at all. So if someone came in and just was like feet
Oh,
or
I'm not. I'm just talking socks. No.
I know. It doesn't matter. Those sweaty dogs are on my case, and I'm like, bro, if you want to be stable, just get better at being stable. You don't got
You know
to.
what? Hey, checkmate. Fair enough. How about just don't fall?
Yeah, how about be better? How about don't be a nerd? No, hey, I'm telling you, bro, I don't care. I just don't like it. Like if these kids are like, bro, you don't know, they could have had the same socks on for 3 days and just running around out there in this Texas summer heat, and then they come out and they're like, all right, shoes off, cool. My mat's gonna stink for 9 days.
You're so right. That honestly, hitting issues, it comes down to like some of that figure it outness where like you have an issue. It's like, do I need to do this drill? Do I need to do this? And it's like, hey, how about you know what? Are you trying to feel the ground? Are you trying to be stable? How about try being stable and
Yeah,
not falling? You're
dude.
like, you know what? You're right.
Yeah, I have some kids, man, I swear, that are like go through some stuff, and I'll try this drill and I'll try that drill and I'll try this drill just to give them a feel. Anything that works, and I say it this way, I say it that way, I say it this way, I say it that way. But then I'm like, at the end of the day, I watch the video. So like they'll take one and I'll take one, and I'll be like, you see what you're doing right here? How you're like this, and I'm like this. Do this. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, can you do it? And they're like, I think so. And I'm like, just do like there's nothing else to say. I don't care if you hit it. I don't care if you miss it. I just want you to do this. And they're like, okay. And sometimes they can and sometimes they can't. But at the end of the day, we're going to do this in lessons until you can do it.
Right. And I have some kids who are like, especially with the holding the finish thing, they go, I can't do it. And they hit and they fall. And I said, hey, I have $1,000 US dollars cash in my wallet. Do you think if I had that and I told you that if you held your finish that I give you the cash, you think you can do that? And they go, oh, I think so. Next 5 balls. Yaga, hold. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
so it's not a skill issue. It's not, it's hard. It's a totally up there thing. Maybe a little bit different than what you were talking about, but sometimes it just comes down to just doing it.
Right. No.
I figured like do it right now. And they're okay, I can try. Wham. Landon Wham.
Yeah, I was about to say I always say wham, but man, dude, like, yeah, no, that's the main thing. And I have a strict policy. Like, if you say the word can't in my cage with me in there, you are doing push-ups until I get tired. And I'm like, and sometimes it'll slip out on kids, and they'll be like, I can't see that one. And I'm like, oh, really? So let's watch it while you do push-ups. And they're like, oh, I said it. I'm like, don't, if you say that to me, I will kill you. Do not tell me how you can't do something, because that's why I'm here and I'm the goat. So if I'm helping you and you still can't do it, there's problems.
Guys, I'll reiterate it. I said it last week. If anybody's saying anything out of their mouth and it's not from me or Landon, they're wrong. And that's just the facts. That's just bottom line. Like, they're dumb and we're right.
Yeah. Amen.
That's funny. No, man. Why would we tell you something that you couldn't do?
Right.
We're not telling you to do a backflip. All right, here we're gonna need you to load and then do a gainer and then take your G hack.
Yeah.
And you can go, you know what? I physically cannot do that.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, deadlift that 900-pound dumbbell, and then we'll take some swings.
Yeah. Man, I'm just asking you to hold your finish. Like, it's not.
What do you mean you can't do that?
Yeah.
No, I'm contractually obligated. My agent told me, he let me know, like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
What do you got? Do you have anything else?
No, man, that's good stuff.
Mr. Nix, thanks for giving us a format. We've been doing it the last couple of weeks, and we'll kind of go off tangent, but it's flowing much better nowadays. The first 2 episodes are, let's say, a disaster. Kind of. I mean, they're good, but hey, we need to promote these.
Yeah, I thought episode 3 was the worst.
You think?
I was down that day, and I was like, and I just was like, this is not a good day for me.
It's all right. That happens, brother. It happens. Like today, I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't want to do it today because I was tired, but I think we had fun.
Yeah. I have had some suggestions by a couple people. If somebody says you got to do something better with your contrast on the back wall. Shout out James Aldridge. He says you blend into that back wall, and he doesn't like it.
Hey James, how about I'll figure it out.
He'll be fine. Let him rip.
Are you saying that I'm white, James?
Hey.
Translucent?
Good gosh. Translucent. You're clear.
I'm not that white. I'm like, can I make myself bigger? Nope.
No.
What do you mean contrast? Does it look like I'm in jail or something?
I don't know, man. Hey, you're not as tan as me. But also from my fiance and future wife, Carly Gooden, says that we need to put this podcast somewhere else on YouTube, because when she tries to play it in her car, she has to keep her phone on, and it is a giant inconvenience for her.
Carly, I'm sorry.
I want you to know that my existence boils down to limiting inconveniences on Carly Gooden.
For your lady? Yeah.
So I felt like I had to say it.
That's I don't know where podcasts go. Like,
I don't either.
You do SoundCloud or something, but then people have to download SoundCloud.
I think there's a podcast app on iPhone, but also like I think we're gonna lose some of our 60 views if we do that. And also, you know what? I think that it'd be harder to promote that way as well.
Right. Hey, Carly, it's called a barrier to entry. If you want to listen to your handsome, smoking hot husband, fiance, then you got to go through some hoops. I'm sorry, Carly.
Hey, don't talk to my wife like that. I'll have to get you.
What did I say? I apologize. What did I say?
I'm kidding.
Let's be done. I got to go lift weights. You got to go do important stuff. I appreciate it, Landon.
Yeah, love you.
I love you.
Let's be gritty, boys.
Let's be gritty. There we go.